a lot of people have joined. We have around 68, uh, 69 people joining us and more incoming. Okay. Quickly, welcome to all our partners in this webinar on what is PMS and how to sell PMS, that is Portfolio Management Services. We have with us Srividya Easwaran from 360 ONE Asset Management. She will take us through this journey. PMS, that is Portfolio Management Services, is a very niche product. It's very popular. It's getting a lot of attention these days. A lot of portfolio managers are uh, in the market. 360 ONE is one of the very famous asset, portfolio managers in the country, and it would be great to understand the viewpoint of why a portfolio management service or a PMS portfolio works in favor of your clients, works in favor of an investor. How it is better, how it is good, uh, how it is different from the other financial products that we have known or we are used to selling. So there are a lot of insights that can be drawn from this webinar. Uh, I hand over the mantle to Srividya. She can take it ahead from here. And I think we'll have the question and answer session at the end of the webinar. In the meantime, if anyone has some question or have some query, do write it down in the chat section, and we can then collate and present a very formal question and answer session to Srividya, so she can answer them in a very orderly fashion, so that none of the questions are missed and we try to answer as many questions as possible. Okay. Do write it down in chats. That would be a better way to go about it. So over to you, Srividya. Please take it ahead from here.
Thank you so much, and welcome to all the participants, and thanks for joining us today. So we will present a perspective, and very beautifully the background has already been set as to what is the objective of today's session. So we will give a perspective on PMS as a product category, PMS industry, and what value add a PMS does potentially to a client's portfolio. What could be the differences between PMS and let's say a mutual fund product, which I think all of us are accustomed to talking about, and so on. And you can, as has already been articulated, put in your questions whenever you feel, and any big or small questions, happy to take them ahead. So I have with me my colleague Sahil. Both of us are from 360 ONE Asset Management, and between us we'll hope to add some value to you today with today's session. So let's not waste any more time, and Sahil, you can move to the next slide. Yeah. So this is just to give you an analogy that I'm sure a lot of you must be familiar, but PMS, the essential, main feature of PMS which distinguishes it from other investment products is the fact that PMS gives you a great level of personalization or customization. And like all other financial products, like a mutual fund, for example, the end goal ultimately remains the same, that you're looking to, you have a financial goal to achieve, and this is a product which will invest to take you towards that financial goal. However, PMS is a little different from, let's say, as I said, the most common analogy is mutual fund, because to a great level, PMS can be customized and tailor-made to fit an individual investor's unique requirements, which is not the case into pool, like what is the case with pool products like a mutual fund. If we move ahead, and
sorry to break in. The one request is that I think if you could switch on the camera, and that would be great for all of our partners.
Oh, sure. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
So PMS, as I said again, and I would reiterate that it's a dedicated financial product, which is, which can be customized to your individual preferences. So the underlying, what does PMS invest into? Like in a mutual fund investment, the underlying could be equity, is primarily equity. And there are also products which invest into debts, maybe some structures and so on and so forth. Primarily, most PMS products in the industry, the underlying investment is stocks, right? And the majority of the AUM in PMS products is in stocks. Now, the main difference here is, like, unlike in a mutual fund, which is a pooled product where there is a trust, right? Okay, a mutual fund, every mutual fund is essentially a trust. There is a trustee and there's an AMC company which essentially runs the mutual fund. Here, unlike that, what is essentially happening is you're not, and you get units, right? If I'm an investor, I put money in a mutual fund, I will be getting units in lieu of my investment, and the appreciation of the value of the units through an NAV is, telling you what is my journey, whether my product has done well or not done well at any given point of time. Unlike in that, here in a PMS product, you will own the individual security. So a client will have the individual stocks in his demat account and not units of the PMS, right? So it is not a unitized structure. It is the underlying is your individual securities. Uh, PMS products, and I'll come into this in a little more detail. Let me just give you a basic lay of the land now, and then we will go more detail. PMS products are essentially targeted towards high net worth individuals. It is not suitable or it is not permitted to be offered to individuals who cannot invest 50 lakhs, right? So 50 lakhs is the minimum ticket size for a PMS investment. Of course, there are options in PMS that subsequent investments can be of a multiple of less than 50 lakhs, but you have to have the initial investment has to be of minimum 50 lakhs, and hence it is not suitable for a retail investor. It is catered to a niche category of segment of investors who have 50 lakhs or more. Okay, so high net worth individuals. And if you look at categories of PMS, there are three broad categories: discretionary, non-discretionary, and advisory. Now, discretionary is where majority of the AUM of the PMS industry currently lies. So discretionary PMS, essentially the choice, what is meaning of discretionary? As the word suggests, discretion meaning I have a choice, right? So the timing or the choice of the investment solely lies in the hands of the portfolio manager. So today, if you are investing, client is investing into 361 PMS, 361 PMS the fund manager will decide which stocks to select, in what proportion to select, and what is the timing when to exit from the stock. The discretion lies with the fund manager, right? In a non-discretionary PMS, the portfolio manager can suggest an investment idea, but when to exit, when to enter, when to top up, all these decisions can be taken by the investor. The portfolio manager does more of the trade execution, okay, after providing a basic scope of what the objective of the scheme is. So non-discretionary PMSs are also available in the industry. Discretionary PMS, however, has the majority of the AUM. And all your popular schemes that you know, other fund houses also like 361 who offer PMSs, all the schemes that you know are all discretionary PMSs, right? Then third is advisory. This is more or less, I would say, or maybe slightly lesser in terms of AUM as compared to non-discretionary as well. Here, what happens is a PMS portfolio manager will advise on the portfolio. So what essentially advisory structures, typically how it works is, there will be, let's say there's a big distribution house. They will say, I have a bouquet of say 361, ASK, maybe Abacus and 3 or 4 such PMS managers. And the client,
if you could just
we will only give advice on what portfolio stocks to select, right? And then the investment decision, the client can, trade execution is done by the investment manager. The decision on choice of investment is with, sorry.
Shweta, if you can
Yes?
make a combination of Hindi and English both, so it'll be more comfortable.
Oh, sorry. I am not able to read the comments. Okay. Yes. So let me just, I'll quickly rehash the first 3 points. PMS is customized. PMS solution में आपको customized मिलता है portfolio compared to mutual fund. Underlying investment predominantly equity ही रहती है. Fixed income भी हो सकती है, but इसमें ज़्यादा AUM नहीं है fixed income में in the industry. Predominantly equity होता है. Catering to high net worth, जिसके पास minimum 50 लाख की इन्वेस्टमेंट करना है किसी को, तो मिनिमम 50 लाख के इन्वेस्टमेंट के साथ ही आप पीएमएस में इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हो. अनलाइक म्यूचुअल फंड स्कीम जहाँ पे आप लोअर टिकट साइज पे भी इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हो, यहाँ पे मिनिमम 50 लाख के नीचे आप इन्वेस्ट नहीं कर सकते हो. टॉपअप्स कैन बी स्मॉलर अमाउंट, बट बेसिक फर्स्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट 50 लाख का ही आप कर सकते हो. अंडरलाइंग 3 तरह के पीएमएसएस होते हैं, डिस्क्रिशनरी, नॉन डिस्क्रिशनरी और एडवाइजरी. However, इंडस्ट्री में मेजॉरिटी पीएमएसएस जो आप जानते हो, जो फेमस वाले पीएमएसएस है, जाने माने जो पीएमएस स्कीम्स है, वो प्रेडोमिनेटली डिस्क्रिशनरी पीएमएस स्कीम्स होती है. डिस्क्रिशनरी पीएमएस में द फंड मैनेजर टेक्स द डिसीजन कि कब उनको खरीदना है स्टॉक, कौन से स्टॉक खरीदने हैं, उनको कब बेचना है, उनको कब बाय करना है, सब डिसीजंस फंड मैनेजर के हाथ में है. द चेक इन्वेस्टर साइन करेगा, फॉर्म इन्वेस्टमेंट साइन करेगा, इन्वेस्टर साइन करेगा, बट उसके बाद डिसीजन लाइज विद फंड मैनेजर. नॉन डिस्क्रिशनरी पीएमएस में द फंड मैनेजर कैन सजेस्ट आइडियाज, पर जो डिसीजन होती है, क्लाइंट को एग्जिट करना है, किसी चीज में एंटर करना है, वो डिसीजन इन्वेस्टर के हाथ में भी रह सकती है, तो वो नॉन डिस्क्रिशनरी होती है. बट बहुत लोगों के पास नॉन डिस्क्रिशनरी AUM ज्यादा होता नहीं है, क्योंकि यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट फ्रॉम फंड मैनेजर के साइड से इसमें काफी इन्वेस्टमेंट आपको लगानी पड़ेगी कि एक एक क्लाइंट का आपको कस्टमाइजेशन करना पड़ेगा. So relatively fewer people have big full-fledged ND PMS और non-discretionary PMS, ज्यादा discretionary में ही होती है AUM. और advisory तीसरी structure है which is even more smaller. Advisory में generally कैसा होता है, कोई 3-4 फंड मैनेजर्स को अपॉइंट करता है कि आप एडवाइस करो कौन सी स्टॉक सिलेक्ट करनी है, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. और एक इन्वेस्टमेंट प्राइमरी इन्वेस्टमेंट मैनेजर होता है और 3-4 इन्वेस्टमेंट मैनेजर्स का बुके होता है, तो वो एडवाइजरी बेसिस पे हम रेकमेंड कर सकते हैं. पर इसमें अगेन इंडस्ट्री में ज्यादा AUM नहीं होता है, राइट? सो दिस इज हाउ इट इज. सो मेजरली हमको देखना है
हेलो.
यस यस
मैडम, ये इसके एसेट प्लस से क्या मतलब है? एसेट प्लस की प्लेटफॉर्म पर भी उपलब्ध है क्या पीएमएस क्या?
सॉरी, आपका आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड द क्वेश्चन.
शिव जी, हम ये सवाल को ना सेशन के एंड में लेंगे. अभी मैडम का ये है, एक ये हो जाने देते हैं, फिर हम लोग इसके ऊपर काम करते हैं. ठीक. ओके.
Yeah, Shri, I think
Yes,
we
please.
got logged off in the middle.
Yeah. Sorry. I think there was some problem with the network. I hope the question got answered because I kind of dropped off in the middle. Yeah. So if I can continue, we are giving हम थोड़ा background दे रहे हैं what is PMS is about, etc. So anyway, Sahil, you can move on to the next slide.
Ma'am, please explain little more about advisory PMS.
हाँ मैडम, एडवाइजरी पीएमएस में टिपिकली क्या होता है, अगर फॉर एग्जांपल एक डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर है, ठीक है, उनको लगता है मुझे सिर्फ एक फंड मैनेजर का पीएमएस नहीं बनाना है, मैं एक बुके ऑफर करता हूँ. सो ही विल से कि मैंने 361 का एक फंड मैनेजर लिया, मैंने ASK का एक फंड मैनेजर लिया, मैंने लेट्स से मोतीलाल का एक फंड मैनेजर लिया, इन तीनों का मैं एक ब्लेंडेड एक पोर्टफोलियो बनाऊंगा जहाँ पे ये 3 फंड मैनेजर्स मुझे एडवाइस देंगे ऑन व्हाट स्टॉक्स टू सिलेक्ट. सो फॉर दैट आई शुड हैव फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल एडवाइजरी लाइसेंस. एज 361 मुझे जाके एक एडवाइजरी का लाइसेंस लेना पड़ेगा कि आई कैन गो एंड एडवाइस पोर्टफोलियोज एक्सेट्रा, और सिर्फ मैं एडवाइस दूंगा उसमें. साहिल, यू कैन गो बैक टू द प्रीवियस स्लाइड. या सो द टाइमिंग एंड चॉइस ज्यादा इंडस्ट्री में मैडम एडवाइजरी पीएमएस, लॉट्स ऑफ पीपल डोंट हैव एडवाइजरी पीएमएस इन द इंडस्ट्री. It is very limited capacity because you are coming in with a special mandate कि मुझे सिर्फ एडवाइस देना है and not run a scheme of my own etc. तो इसमें ज्यादा assets नहीं है. मेजॉरिटी है डिस्क्रिशनरी और नॉन डिस्क्रिशनरी में ही, ठीक है। There are not too many people who have advisory PMSs in the industry. Can I go to the next slide?
Yes.
Sahil?
Just one last question. For
sure.
discretionary and non-discretionary, do we need to have separate license for that for us to do that PMS?
Yes, absolutely. Very good question. I can choose to have only discretionary PMS, or I can choose to have both. Okay, license lena, it is in the hands of the manufacturer. In this case, अगर मैं 361 AMC हूँ, तो मैं लाइसेंस मुझे जाके लेना पड़ेगा कि मैं डिस्क्रिशनरी PMS ही बेचूंगा या मैं डिस्क्रिशनरी और नॉन डिस्क्रिशनरी दोनों बेचूंगा. I can have both also, but I have to go and apply for a separate license for discretionary and non.
But from your sales perspective, अगर if you are recommending the PMS to your partner, अगर आप recommendation कर रहे हो, तो आप आपको अलग सर्टिफिकेट या ऐसा कुछ लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. आपको खाली आपको खाली वो 21A PMS का जो एग्जाम है वो क्लियर करना है, एंड देन यू कैन रेकमेंड दोनों discretionary, non-discretionary. You can recommend either of the funds.
This is from the perspective of the fund house, not from the perspective of the distributor or the advisor. Okay, we need to have a license to sell both discretionary and non-discretionary.
Yeah, but I was trying to understand. मेरा question ये था कि we as distributors, हमारे
No,
लिए अगर
you
हमें ये
don't.
दोनों
You
करना
don't
है तो
have
हमें
to.
क्या करना है?
You don't have to. You don't have to.
आपको कुछ नहीं, आपको खाली आपका 21A एग्जाम जो है NISM का वो क्लियर करना पड़ता है, एंड यू हैव टू साइन अपने जो भी PMS फंड हाउस है, जैसे सपोज आप 361 का PMS रेकमेंड कर रहे हो, तो आपको वो 360 एसेट प्लस का अग्रीमेंट है, तो आपको एसेट प्लस के थ्रू आप कर रहे हो, सो देन आपको खाली आपका 21A क्लियर करना है, दैट इज ऑल. आपके पास वो 21A का सर्टिफिकेशन आ गया, उसके बाद आप you can
कोई भी
start
PMS ले सकते.
selling the PMS whatever is available at Asset Plus, if that answers your question.
Yeah,
I have a
21A क्लियर करना होगा हमें, right?
Yes.
That is what we'll need to
Yes.
do. Okay,
So
got it.
मैं उसके बारे में भी आगे बताऊंगी. I'm coming to that too. थोड़ा
Sure.
और just अलावा सा little more discretion. थोड़े आगे slides में everything is covered. ठीक है? We'll just
Done.
move
Thank
ahead
you.
to the next slide. Okay? So again coming back to benefit of PMS. ठीक है? Now just like in a mutual fund house हम बोलते हैं कि हम खुद we manage our own investments better than that and give it to a fund house because as a fund manager. In PMS, it's the same thing. You have professional qualified portfolio managers. You have a proper research team who will, give stock recommendations. And so that structure works in a very, very similar fashion. Okay. The good part in PMS, especially for ultra high net worth clients, जो बहुत picky होते हैं कि many times they want to see what is happening in the portfolio and all that. PMS में क्या हो जाता है, अनलाइक इन म्यूचुअल फंड. म्यूचुअल फंड में हम कैसे करते हैं, आप मंथ एंड में एक स्टेटमेंट आता है, एक फैक्ट शीट आता है. आप स्टेटमेंट में आपको दिख जाता है कि मेरा वैल्यू क्या है, राइट? और स्टेटमेंट यू कैन डू एनी डे ऑफ द मंथ, यू रिमूव द स्टेटमेंट, यू विल नो व्हाट द वैल्यू इज. बट जो फैक्ट शीट कम्स, म्यूचुअल फंड्स रिलीज इट वंस अ मंथ, राइट? सो वंस अ मंथ एट द एंड ऑफ द मंथ, मे एंड की फैक्ट शीट आएगी जून में. यू विल सी व्हाट ऑल स्टॉक्स, देयर आर 50 stocks in the portfolio. This is what is there in my mutual fund portfolio, correct? Now PMS में क्या हो जाता है कि I have the transparency कि the entire stocks, suppose there are 30 stocks in my PMS scheme. The 30 stocks in my PMS scheme will reflect in my personal demat account. Okay, so I will be at any given point of time be able to see what stocks are there in my portfolio and what is not there in my portfolio. And client also gets a login. Distributor gets a login. Client gets a login. तो महीने के बीच में भी मुझे जाके आई कैन सी कि ये स्टॉक मेरे पोर्टफोलियो में कैसा कर रहा है, इसकी वैल्यू क्या है, मेरा पोर्टफोलियो का वैल्यू क्या है. सो देयर इज 100% ट्रांसपेरेंसी विथ एवरीथिंग अवेलेबल एट एनी गिवन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. म्यूचुअल फंड भी बहुत ट्रांसपेरेंट है, बट आपको पोर्टफोलियो, बिकॉज इट्स अ बिग यूनिटाइज स्ट्रक्चर, पूल स्ट्रक्चर है, इतने इन्वेस्टर्स हैं, वो फैक्ट शीट वंस अ मंथ रिलीज होती है और आपको इंडिविजुअली आपका फाइनल वैल्यू पता है क्या है. यू ऑब्वियसली विल नॉट नो कि how each stock is doing in the portfolio and all of that. So you will, वो सब पता नहीं रहता यहाँ पे. That transparency is there because it is catering to high net worth, right? तो उनको उस नजरिए से आपको देखना पड़ेगा. हाई नेटवर्थ इंडिविजुअल तो ज्यादा सवाल पूछते हैं, उनको पता होना चाहिए कि क्या है पोर्टफोलियो में. तो दिस इज देयर. सो अगर क्या हो जाता है जब क्लाइंट, आई विल कम टू दैट अगेन लेटर, क्लाइंट पावर ऑफ अटर्नी देता है टू द पोर्टफोलियो मैनेजर कि वो मेरे बिहाफ पे स्टॉक्स बाय और सेल करे पोर्टफोलियो में. तो बिगिनिंग में मेरा अगर एक स्कीम है और उस स्कीम में 30 स्टॉक्स हैं, तो जब आज एनी इन्वेस्टर गिव्स मी अ चेक ऑफ से 50 lakhs, वो 50 lakhs को वो मैं मोर और लेस उसी प्रपोर्शन में मैं खरीद लूंगा. से these 30 stocks I will buy, right? So I am owning those stocks directly in the same proportion as what is there in the model portfolio of the fund manager. And then day to day I can track it. And the portfolio manager has the POA, power of attorney, कि समझो मुझे एक स्टॉक में अभी नहीं लगता है आगे अच्छा होने वाला है, I will exit that stock. So he will exit it for all the investors in the same manner, right? वो सबके पोर्टफोलियो से वो निकल जाएगा. So I'll be able to see even in the middle of the month at any given point of time what stocks are in, what stocks are out, what is the value and so on. So I have a better understanding. जिनको बहुत ज्यादा अपने पोर्टफोलियो में ऑब्वियसली दिलचस्पी है और देखना है क्या है, this gives you a much better understanding, right? And as I said, यहाँ पे जैसे जिनकी नॉन डिस्क्रिशनरी है वो तो खुद भी डिसाइड कर सकते हैं कि मुझे क्या, दैट कस्टमाइज्ड टेलर मेड जो यहाँ पे आपको पॉइंट दिख रहा है वो एस्पेक्ट भी आ जाता है. Also what happens is PMSs compared to mutual funds tend to be a little more aggressive. जो जनरली क्या हो जाता है, अभी बड़े म्यूचुअल फंड स्कीम्स हैं, बिकॉज देयर आर सो मेनी क्लाइंट्स और देयर आर रिडेम्पशंस इन एंड आउट क्लाइंट्स करते रहते हैं, तो दे हैव टू मेंटेन मेनी स्टॉक्स इन द पोर्टफोलियो एक्सेट्रा, राइट? बहुत अग्रेसिव व्यू नहीं ले सकते हैं. यहाँ पे क्या हो जाता है, you can have a 20 stock, 15 stock portfolio. There are some very aggressive PMSs which even have 15 stock portfolio, 20 stock portfolio, which has the potential to generate superior return. Obviously उसके साथ साथ रिस्क भी उतने लेवल तक हायर होता है, but here because it's high net worth individual जिसको रिस्क की ज्यादा समझ है, you can be a little more aggressive in portfolios as well, right? So ये सारी differences हैं, ये सारी benefits हैं to if you're looking at what is a PMS. ठीक है? If you go for the next slide. So who should look for a PMS? Obviously high net worth individuals, which I said, investors who want a lot of transparency and customization and all that, and those who are looking for some level of flexibility. So abhi also the other aspect here is, बहुत बार क्या हो जाता है, suppose there is a very very big client, right? He comes with a 5 crore check and he will say आपका fund management expense इसमें 2.5% है, but मुझे 2.5% इसमें नहीं देना है because मैं आपको, I'm giving you a big check, so can you reduce the fee? So he will come to the distributor, he will say मुझे इसमें आप fee कम करवा के दो. Distributor will come to the fund house, he will say 5 crore का check है, इनको lower fees चाहिए, we can do a lower fee. बिकॉज इसमें इंडिविजुअल क्लाइंट के लेवल तक कस्टमाइजेशन हो सकती है, तो हम अलग से एक टर्म शीट ले लेते हैं कि इन क्लाइंट को सिर्फ हमें 2% चार्ज करना है या 1.5% चार्ज करना है, तो वी विल नॉट चार्ज अ हायर फी टू दैट क्लाइंट. करेस्पॉन्डिंगली डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर इज ओके टू हैव अ लोअर कमीशन, तो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर का कमीशन उसमें कम हो जाता है, राइट? सो द डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर टेक्स अ कॉल, अगर ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट क्लाइंट है और इनको फीस कस्टमाइजेशन चाहिए, he will take it to the fund house. Fund house is okay doing a customization and he will say correspondingly आपने lower fee कर दिया तो percentage sharing जो brokerage का होता है correspondingly कम हो जाएगा. So that level of flexibility is permitted or is can be done in a PMS, right? So moving on. So what is the PMS landscape in India? Now compared to mutual fund industry, it's a fairly small, industry. There's still, it's probably 1/4 the size. It has grown and पिछले 5 साल में काफी growth हुआ है because markets have obviously done well. There are a lot more people who have become wealthier. जो mass affluent से affluent segment में बहुत लोग जा चुके हैं, तो उनको they have bigger check sizes to cut. तो उनको they go and PMS products are showcased to them, and this results in this has resulted in the growth of the PMS industry. And 5 years the industry has grown by nearly 26% per annum. And we think also the industry estimates are next 5 years also it is going to grow at a similar pace as more and more people are becoming wealthier. Lot of people, सबको customization चाहिए, portfolio में कुछ अलग चाहिए, mutual fund के beyond चाहिए, so they look at PMS as an option, right? Also what is happening is बहुत सारे पोर्टफोलियो मैनेजर्स आ चुके हैं जो खुद के PMS चलाते हैं, जो पहले म्यूचुअल फंड इंडस्ट्री में फंड मैनेजर वेरी दिग्गज नेम हुआ करते थे, big names. Many of them today have their own PMS fund house, PMS house, and they are introducing schemes. So portfolio industry mein number of people, number of fund managers also increased. And as I said, people are looking beyond normal options, mutual fund ke alawa, people want to look at something more, right? So that is the reason why this industry is growing. It will continue to grow. And, so that is why it is good to know, right? आज शायद आप showcase करें या ना करें, but it is good to know what the industry is doing and what is the future. If you go on to the next slide, Sayan. So this will give you a very easy reckoner of what is the difference. PMS और mutual funds के बीच में क्या differences होती है, ठीक है? Mutual funds में investment objective होता है. In the fund manager has to meet the investment objective. इसमें भी investment objective होता है, but as I said customization भी हो सकता है. So both options are available. PMS में ownership is with the trustee. The trustee owns the shares of the fund and investors are owning the units of the fund. यहाँ पे investors own the securities, चाहे directly client के portfolio में securities दिखती हैं, stocks दिखते हैं. कस्टमाइजेशन म्यूचुअल फंड में पॉसिबल नहीं है, यहाँ पे कस्टमाइजेशन पॉसिबल है. हाउएवर म्यूचुअल फंड में आप 100 रुपए के SIP इंस्टॉलमेंट में भी आ सकते हो, वेराज इन PMS यू कैन हैव टू हैव अ मिनिमम 50 लाख के नीचे आप इन्वेस्ट नहीं कर सकते हो. इन पोर्टफोलियो स्टॉक अभी म्यूचुअल फंड में रिस्ट्रिक्शंस होता है कि आप 10% के ऊपर एक सिंगल स्टॉक में नहीं ले सकते हो. यहाँ पे बिकॉज ये अल्ट्रा HNI ऑडियंस के लिए है, there are no strict limits, you have the flexibility. Of course, कोई फंड मैनेजर फंड हाउस बोल सकता है कि मुझे नहीं करना है 10% के ऊपर, वो इंटरनल लिमिट है. वैसे रेगुलेटरी लिमिट ऐसा स्ट्रिक्ट नहीं है कि आपको सिर्फ 10% एक स्टॉक में आप ले सकते हो, राइट? फी स्ट्रक्चर आई ऑलरेडी मेंशन्ड, यहाँ पे फिक्स्ड फीस होती है. ऐसा नहीं है कि इन म्यूचुअल फंड कि मैं एक इन्वेस्टर हूँ, आई विल कम एट 1.5%, दूसरा इन्वेस्टर विल कम एट 2%. ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है. There is a fixed fee for all investors. In other, one more thing in PMS में एक और चीज होती है. There can be two type of fee structures. Fixed fee structure में क्या होता है, आपको हर साल एक ही फी लेवी होता है कि 2.5% या 2% या जो भी है वो एक ही फी लेवी होगा, which is a per annum cost, right? और you can have a hybrid. You can say fixed fee मेरा 1.5% structure होगा, और अगर sorry, I think somebody is not on mute. Yeah, और there is a hybrid structure की fixed fee होगी 1.5%, और अगर the fund has performed more than say 10% return, तो मुझे वो additional return पे portfolio manager can charge a performance fee. तो बहुत लोग ऐसे वाले स्ट्रक्चर में भी आते हैं, क्योंकि इसमें only if the fund has given some decent returns I can charge a additional fee, otherwise I cannot charge additional fee, right? तो performance oriented structure fee वाली भी structures यहाँ पे होती है in PMS. Whereas for mutual fund it is a fixed fee, same fee for all investors. आप ये भी जानते होंगे कि म्यूचुअल फंड में जितना बड़ा स्कीम होगा आपकी फीस कम होती जाती है, राइट? बिकॉज सेबी ने ऑलरेडी दैट दिस थिंग इज देयर, दैट AUM के साथ स्लैब्स होते हैं. यहाँ पे AUM लेवल पे स्लैब्स नहीं होते हैं, ठीक है? So you can have, even if my PMS scheme today is 500 crores, tomorrow will be 3,000 crores or 5,000 crores. The fee structure I can keep the same. I don't need to change the fee structure from an AUM perspective. I can choose to do it for some other reason, but I don't need to keep it from AUM के हिसाब से मुझे कम ज्यादा करना है, ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं. Taxation, okay. Now taxation, what happens is म्यूचुअल फंड में टैक्सेशन इज एप्लीकेबल जब क्लाइंट रिडीम करता है, लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन होता है या शॉर्ट टर्म कैपिटल गेन होता है, जब मैं यूनिट्स रिडीम कर रही हूँ। यहाँ पे द नेगेटिव एस्पेक्ट हियर इज एवरी टाइम देयर इज अ ट्रेड। सो अगर मैं फंड मैनेजर हूँ और टुडे आई एम एग्जिटिंग अ स्टॉक विद इन 3, ठीक है, कोई स्टॉक में मैं इट इज नॉट प्लेड आउट वेल एंड आई एम चूजिंग टू एग्जिट अ स्टॉक, तो जो कैपिटल गेन्स एप्लीकेबल है फॉर दैट इंडिविजुअल स्टॉक ट्रेड, वो मेरे अकाउंट में भी रिफ्लेक्ट होगा। ओके, ऑन द परसेंटेज प्रोपोर्शन इन माय पोर्टफोलियो, उस हिसाब से मुझे भी वो स्टॉक, वो LTCG STCG एवरी टाइम देयर इज अ ट्रेड बिकॉज स्टॉक इज बीइंग हेल्ड इन द क्लाइंट्स डीमैट अकाउंट, ठीक है। तो वो एक बड़ा, एक काफी हद तक एक डिसएडवांटेज है कंपेयर टू अ म्यूचुअल फंड, क्योंकि म्यूचुअल फंड में अगर फंड मैनेजर ट्रेड कर रहा है इंट्रा मंथ, I won't be charge a tax implication on that. I will be having a tax implication only when I am redeeming. Here, whenever there is a trade in the stock, जब स्टॉक के ऊपर LTCG STCG लगेगा, वो मेरे पोर्टफोलियो में भी that will be visible. ठीक है? So that is the difference. I think somebody had raised their hand. You can unmute and ask if you have a question.
Srividya, we can take the questions later.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so some key things which have happened. So, like, see, regulator, SEBI was the regulator, is very, very active in regulating PMS. ऐसा नहीं है कि म्यूचुअल फंड्स में इतने सारे regulations हैं, PMS में सबको खुली छूट दी हुई है, ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है। PMS में भी there is lot of regulations. That is a catering to high net worth individuals. So risk appetite उनकी higher होती है, पर there has to be a regulatory management. तो उन्होंने especially in the last 5 to 7 years काफी सारी introductions किया for the safeguarding the investors to improve the whole governance of PMSs. So minimum investment amount used to be 25 lakhs earlier. तो उन्होंने 25 से उसको 50 कर दिया ताकि अगेन बैरियर आप थोड़ा हायर रेज करो, ठीक है। सेकेंड इज अर्लियर डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर की कमीशंस होती थी अपफ्रंट, म्यूचुअल फंड में अपफ्रंट्स तो बहुत पहले हट चुके थे, बट PMSs में इट वाज कंटिन्यूइंग। बट इन्होंने रेगुलेटर आल्सो हैड द ओपिनियन दैट दे शुड नॉट बी मिस सेलिंग इन PMSs. So they said that let's make it a trail oriented structure, so that as long as the investor's asset is staying in the in the PMS scheme, उस हिसाब से हमें commission we should do. Third, certification. जो earlier everybody could go and sell to a client PMS products, but PMS is different from mutual fund, right? Operationally different है, schemes different हो सकती हैं, schemes ज्यादा complicated कभी कभी हो सकती हैं. So they made just like आपको MF में एक NISM 5A होता है, PMS के लिए there is a NISM 21A exam which is now mandatory for anybody who's distributing a PMS. उसको clear किए बिना, there are some exceptions and some they have made certain things like आप 50 years के ऊपर हो तो थोड़े exceptions, ऐसे सब हैं थोड़े बहुत exceptions, but majority people have to clear this exam to go and distribute a PMS. Then exit load structure उन्होंने fix कर दिया है that you can't charge more than 3% exit load. Earlier because upfronts हुआ करते थे, there were certain PMS schemes में 4-5% भी कभी रख देते थे to give the to support the upfront. अभी वो upfront उन्होंने abhi since upfronts are not there, the exit load structure has been made uniform as it can't exceed 3-1 in years 1, 2, and 3, and afterward it becomes nil. Just give me one. Yeah, sorry. Then direct plan, just like mutual funds में direct plan आपको पता है is available. यहाँ पे भी regulator said you have to give the option to clients to come in directly. कि वो distributor के through ना आए, वो directly आए, तो उन्होंने वो option भी available किया है. And direct plan की fees are lower than the distribution वाली structure. So जैसे normal PMS में 2.5 हो सकता है, 2% management fee होगा. In a direct plan, it is typically lower because client can come in at a lower fee structure also. ठीक है? So these are the big regulatory changes which happened in the last many years. So I'll just pause here to give, if anybody, wants to ask a question, because now I'm just going to go to what are we on the mutual fund, on the PMS side, and, where we add value, some aspects on that. But I'll be happy to answer any questions on the, the whatever I've covered till now.
Srividya, one question that has come is that what is the eligibility criteria for NISM 21A? So is there an eligibility criteria for a distributor?
No, a distributor has to give. So a distributor has to give. Every distributor has to give this NISM 21A.
Okay.
They give certain exceptions. ठीक है कि जैसे अगर मैं 15 साल से I have been a distributor or I have been a wealth manager, right, who has been in the financial industry, financial services industry, distributing these products for the last 15 years, I have to produce some proof of that. या तो मेरी employment certificate मुझे दिखानी होगी, या मुझे बताना पड़ेगा कि मैं ARN होल्डर हूँ इतने सालों से. तो these some documents they ask. If that is the case, then आपको exception मिल सकती है, where you don't have to give the exam. But जैसे आप NISM 5A के बदले people give that refresher course, right? Continued जो continued वाली training होती है, जो you can give a refresher
Correct.
course. You will have to attend that course as a instead of giving the exam. और अगर मैं एज 50 एंड अबव हूँ और मैं डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर हूँ, तो मुझे वो एक्सेप्शन मिल सकती है. आई हैव टू प्रोड्यूस अ एज सर्टिफिकेट एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट, और एक आध दो डॉक्यूमेंट्स यू विल हैव टू प्रोड्यूस, देन यू गेट द एक्सेप्शन.
Okay, where does this exception has to be logged into?
See, exceptions logged in, there is NISM की वेबसाइट में ही आपको ये all these that with you separately and you can share with the partner. It is there on the NISM website itself that NISM 21A की ये eligibility होती है, and this is what is the criterion. It's very, very clear what all, who can apply, who cannot apply, but majority people have to give this 21A. There is no escape, and it is every 3 years you have to refresh. ऐसा नहीं है कि अब एक साल देख के you can permanent है life के लिए. जैसे हम NISM 5A we do refresher, you have to go back and do this. अगर आप 15 साल से बेच रहे हो, आप 15 साल से इंडस्ट्री में हो, then you don't have to, then you have to give this, there are those few documents that one has to submit. Otherwise, it is mandatory for everyone.
Okay. Another question that has come up here is there an expense ratio in PMS? How about the expense?
Absolutely. Management fee, just to give you an analogy, जैसे म्यूचुअल फंड में एक TER होता है, राइट, टोटल एक्सपेंस रेशियो. टोटल एक्सपेंस रेशियो इज द सम ऑफ, एक बेस एक्सपेंस रेशियो होता है, उसके ऊपर वो कभी थोड़ा बहुत B30 ऐड होता है, थोड़ा ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंस ऐड होता है, GST ऐड होता है, एक्सेट्रा करके यू हैव अ टोटल एक्सपेंस रेशियो. सिमिलरली यहाँ पे मैनेजमेंट फी, इट्स नॉट कॉल्ड TER, इट इज कॉल्ड मैनेजमेंट फी. तो मैनेजमेंट फी in any PMS you go to, they will tell you what is the standard management fee. So typically most people keep it as 2.5% per annum. Okay? But as I said, there are exceptions that can be done if, for example, the client is a high net worth client and आपको उनको they want a lower fee, आप request करते हो fund house को कि इनको lower structure करवा दो. So we can do it. We just, so every time, so the documentation which really goes to a client, right? The form goes to the client, and we'll come to, and I think Sahil, we should go to that part first before we do the business bit, because that will give a client everyone
Which part
a
is
picture.
it?
The documentation bit which you had covered in the end, which is there. Let's just go to that. So in the meanwhile, while Sahil changes the slides, so एक term sheet client से sign करवाते हैं. वो term sheet में everything is given. What is the fee? किसमें इन्वेस्ट होगा, स्कीम का क्या है, एवरीथिंग इज गिवन. सो वो टर्म शीट में, यस, सो वो टर्म शीट में one can change the fee if it is needed, but otherwise standard fees जो होती है 2.5, typically 2.5 होता है. And if you are going for a performance fee oriented structure, जहाँ पे फिक्स फी कम होता है, मैनेजमेंट फी 1.5 होता है, बट क्लाइंट को परफॉर्मेंस फी फिर पर एनम लगता है if the PMS is done well.
Okay. Another thing that has come up here is Yeah. Another question is, do portfolio managers also participate in intraday and derivatives trading on behalf of their clients?
No, unless there is a scheme which has a specific mandate to do, something in options and so on and so forth. We don't, nobody goes into intraday and derivatives and all of that, because these come with very, very high risk, right? And that is not the practice, because we don't want to be getting into that. We are also governed by risk and everything, that we don't want, massive fluctuation in client portfolios. And it is not there in the mandate of PMS schemes. Only what happens is, कोई schemes में हो सकता है कि वो put option ले ले कुछ, the put option is for protection in the client portfolio, कि
Correct.
या index option ले ले. The individual FNO नहीं होता है, because it is too risky and it is generally not even allowed in a fund's mandate. कोई करता नहीं है.
एक और सवाल है कि does volume of transaction matter while deciding the commission in PMS?
No, you're saying that if a distributor comes and tells me that I will give you 50 crore of business per month, so my commission has to be up and down. See, this is like was in any mutual fund, structure also, right? Now, if my mutual fund is running at, let's say, 2% TER, अभी एक बहुत बड़ा distributor है, which I know volume of business ज़्यादा है, it could happen that, I will give him a higher sharing percentage of my expense ratio. And somebody who hardly gives me business, I might, choose to give him a lesser thing. So yes, it could happen that, I might choose to, the sharing ratio, commission sharing ratio, if that is what you're asking. वो कम
No,
ज़्यादा
I think
थोड़ा
the
बहुत
question
हो
here
सकता है.
is volume means a lot of buy and sell.
Buy and sell from the fund manager's side?
Yes.
No, that has got nothing to do with commission. And
Okay.
again, fund manager will not be doing lot of buy and sell. Again, PMS houses, which are from very respectable PMS houses, ठीक है, जो investment objective follow कर रहे हैं और उनका भी risk mandate है, etc. The more I do in and out in a portfolio, और मेरा portfolio turnover अगर high है, transaction costs will go higher. Because there is a transaction cost, right, for me to go, and every time मैं जाके buy sell करूंगा, there is a cost attached to that. मुझे broker को cost देना पड़ेगा, right? Even if it's my in-house, setup and I'm a fund manager, there is a cost attached to that. So if more churning I do in the portfolio, it will simply make the trade very, very unviable. Second, constant in and out portfolio में हम करते रहेंगे, तो there is a risk that client के returns affect हो.
Correct.
पोर्टफोलियो की रिस्क पैरामीटर्स, एक और चीज मैं बताना चाहूंगी कि जैसे म्यूचुअल फंड्स की रेटिंग होती है, रैंकिंग होती है कि ये 5 स्टार है, ये 4 स्टार है, लॉन्ग टर्म ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड है, यहाँ पे भी ट्रैकिंग होती है. देयर आर थर्ड पार्टी वेबसाइट्स, जैसे यू वुड हैव हर्ड ऑफ पीएमएस बाजार, पीएमएस एआईएफ वर्ल्ड, ऐसे बहुत सारे भी थर्ड पार्टी वेबसाइट्स हैं जो रेट करते हैं. आप डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन हाउसेस भी दे विल लाइक अ बड़ी बैंक हो सकती है, या आप एसेट प्लस में भी you will tomorrow decide that you want to work only with top, fund houses on PMS. So you will say ये बहुत अच्छी scheme है, इसकी long term track record अच्छी है. And how will you decide a scheme is good or not? You will not look only at returns. You will look at risk adjusted returns. अगर मैं portfolio turnover बहुत high रखूंगी in my portfolio, my risk parameters will be very, very unfavorable. तो आप ही बोलोगे नहीं मुझे नहीं चाहिए boss, ये बहुत, it looks like he's taking lot of risk in the portfolio.
Correct. So, ma'am, I mean, you answered this question that was also there. Since there is a transaction level taxation and PMS management fee is higher than the TER, does it make sense to go for PMS? Actually, the target audience itself defines that particular stuff.
Absolutely. आप बहुत सही, you're very right. See, mutual fund benefits from scale first of all, right? Because there would be a lot of mutual, like with everything, right? There is the benefit of scale बहुत बार आ जाता है कि costs automatically start going down and all. And second thing is this transaction level taxation thing is not existent in a mutual fund, whereas it's existent in a PMS. But one has to understand that the audience you're catering this to is a high net worth individual who comes with, अगर मैं individually भी मैं stock trading करती हूँ तो that is, it's the same implication ना. अगर मेरे पास, समझो मैं PMS फंड मैनेजर के पास नहीं जाती हूँ, आई एम अ वेरी savvy investor, right? I have 20 stocks in my portfolio. और जैसे आपने डे ट्रेडिंग का क्वेश्चन पूछा ना, डे ट्रेडिंग भी ना करूं, मैं कॉन्स्टेंटली बाय एंड सेल स्टॉक्स, इवन आई एम गोइंग टू इनकर दोस टैक्स इम्प्लीकेशंस, राइट? LTCG, SCG, मुझे भी जब
Correct.
रिटर्न मैं फाइल करूंगी, आई हैव टू शो द बाय एंड सेल ट्रेड्स, नो? हियर आई एम नॉट डूइंग इट पर्सनली, पोर्टफोलियो मैनेजर जिसको मैंने POA दिया है वो मेरे लिए कर रहा है, राइट? म्यूचुअल फंड इज अ लिटिल मोर पैसिव इन दैट सेंस कि जो क्लाइंट रिस्क अवर्स है, जो and lot of PMS investors obviously have a mutual fund portfolio also. It is
Correct.
not mutually
They do.
exclusive,
Correct.
right? It is just that उनको PMS थोड़ा to give some customization, flexibility, or little more risk that they want to take in the portfolio, or they want some themes. जैसे अभी क्या होता है, one aspect which I did not cover, जैसे म्यूचुअल फंड में सेबी ने डिफाइन की है बकेट्स कि आप लार्ज कैप में हो सकते हो, यू हैव अ लार्ज कैप फंड, यू हैव अ फ्लेक्सी कैप फंड, मिड कैप फंड, मल्टी कैप फंड एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट डिफाइंड बकेट्स है। अगर मैं ये डिफाइंड बकेट्स में हूं नहीं तो मैं सिर्फ थीमेटिक फंड में आ सकती हूँ, राइट? आई कैन बी इन अ थीमेटिक फंड इफ माय मेक इन इंडिया फंड, दिस फंड, दैट फंड, न्यू जनरेशन इंडिया फंड, or whatever I might call it. So if I'm not fitting into any large mid this bucket, I call myself a thematic fund. The mutual fund regulations don't allow for me to experiment too much with the themes because it's already bucketed. यहाँ पे PMS में वैसे restrictions नहीं है. So if tomorrow a client wants to have something which is very different in terms of a theme, which is not available on the mutual fund side, he might choose to come to a PMS. Want to take 15 stock, 20 stock portfolio, he will look at PMS. He will not look at mutual fund.
Correct. There's one last question, I think, just two more. It's actually a very critical question that will there be a difference in returns for two investors who joined the same PMS scheme on different dates? Maybe one joined on June 24 and another joined in April 24.
Yes, because my entry points, just again, like if I'm entering in a mutual fund or I'm entering in a stock, मैं जब enter कर रही हूँ, like let's assume there is no change in my portfolio, okay?
Correct.
जो same 30 stocks April को भी थे, मैंने कुछ buy sell नहीं किया है, same 30 stocks June में भी हैं. So the client 1 and client 2 will have exactly the same 30 stocks in the portfolio. But the day I'm executing or buying is different, no? उस दिन में जो purchase price है, उसके हिसाब से आपकी entry value will be different from what is the entry value for the guy who is, coming in April or coming in June. So that difference will be there. My portfolio, if I'm not doing any buy sell trade, will remain the same. If between an April, if you're asking me on the same day, if I am entering, if I am also entering today, somebody else is also entering today, will there be a difference? Most likely no. Because I have the same model portfolio. मॉर्निंग आफ्टरनून में थोड़े बहुत अगर कोई स्टॉक ज्यादा लिक्विड नहीं है, आज मुझे एक ब्लॉक नहीं मिला एंड आई रोल ओवर द ट्रेड टू द नेक्स्ट डे, तो थोड़ा इट कुड हैपन दैट 19-20 हो सकता है कि could be a very very marginal but highly unlikely that there will be a big difference. But
Okay.
for clients who are entering at different points, yes, there will be a difference.
Okay, cool. I think there are a few more, but I think we can take them at the end of the session.
Yeah,
So,
the documentation bit, just to cover very quickly, it's the same that you have to have KYC in place. Everything goes with that on documentation. If you can move to the previous slide. So there is onboarding. So onboarding process जो है, this is again resident individuals, NRIs all can invest into PMS, right? तो but NRIs के लिए norm ये होता है कि they have to be physically in India at the time of signing the application. You should have been in India in the last 6 months. Okay, so this is required in case of a non-resident individual, and there is a certain jurisdiction list etc. which is there. Okay, तो कोई geographies में जो gray geographies है, वहाँ से आप investment नहीं ले सकते हो. That is all. So those are some requirements which are there, but the same KRA verification was similar to what you do in mutual funds. वो सब same है. Just like in mutual funds, you have a digital onboarding process. Resident individuals, okay, also in PMS can be onboarded completely digitally. That facility also, आज के day and age में everybody provides that. The only thing is, please remember, in a PMS, in mutual fund, you just fill a single form. राइट एंड आप अगर ऑनलाइन इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो तो आप यू जस्ट गिव आरटीजीएस डिटेल्स और वॉट एवर डिटेल्स एंड यू डू एन ऑनलाइन थिंग और यू गिव अ चेक। यहाँ पे क्या होता है, अदर देन द पीएमएस फॉर्म there is a demat account opening form that has to be given because इसमें demat account mandatory है। म्यूचुअल फंड में there is no demat account which is mandatory, यहाँ पे demat account mandatory है। so demat account opening का एक फॉर्म होता है, there is a form for the application of the PMS। ये दो फॉर्म्स इसमें होते हैं। KRA has to be is the same the way you give in a mutual fund and so that's pretty much it। and if you are a non individual client है या NR client है तो many times digital onboarding नहीं होता है because the process is that many more and documentation is more। so NRs के लिए we are also working at our end, can we do NR also onboarding on through digital, but as of now it is not available। digital onboarding generally most fund houses nowadays offer for resident individual investors, right? The additional documentation here is that you have to have a demat account opening form which is taken from you and एक टर्म शीट होता है जो जैसे मैंने फीस का बताया वो टर्म शीट में that is given to you as your copy। it is signed and it is given to you where client is okay with the terms of the PMS। so that is the only differentiation in the documentation in that sense। ठीक है, so this is what it is। sorry, if I can now just quickly give you a sense, so 360, who are we at 360 to just wrap up today's discussion and then if you want we'll take more questions। so 360 was earlier known as IIFL asset management। so IIFL we rebranded ourselves last year। the wealth and asset management business को हमने 361 बना दिया। This is not related to IIFL Finance, IIFL Holdings, IIFL Securities। वो completely different company है, हमारा अलग company है। We are a listed entity stock exchanges में। you will see 361 WAM करके हमारा code है। ये this is a listed entity and we have been in business since 2014 as a fund house। so we have PMS, we have mutual fund, we have AIF, we have basically all products and we have a total AUM of around close to 75,000 crores now। bulk of it is in alternative products। so Sahil, if you can move ahead। right, so हम बहुत सारी asset management capabilities, we are very very widely spread। we do listed private equity, credit, everything is there। mutual fund for us is still relatively smaller but we have very good mutual fund schemes too, but mutual fund हमारा relatively smaller है but across PMS, AIF etc bulk of our AUM is there। we have primarily since हम लोग PMS की बात कर रहे हैं, PMS में हमारी दो schemes हैं। one is called multi-cap PMS, one is called Phoenix PMS। कुल मिला के दोनों की साइज रफली अभी 6,000 करोड़ के आसपास है and these are schemes with a long track record। mutual your multi-cap PMS has a track record of now 10 years and Phoenix is over 3 years। both have long-term very good track record and both very different strategies, right? so if you can move on। so just very quickly I'll spend 1 minute only। हम सारे अपने listed portfolios में एक framework बनाते हैं which is called SCDV। this is basically our CIO Mr. Anup Maheshwari। इन्होंने इनकी टीम जब IIFL में they came 2018 में, उन्होंने क्या किया कि पूरी मार्केट को 4 क्वाड्रेंट 4 बकेट में डिवाइड करके which is the entire universe of the BSE 500 और हमने बोल दिया जो कंपनीज ओवर द लॉन्ग टर्म पिछले 10 सालों में कंसिस्टेंटली कंपाउंड करती है प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी और उनकी रिटर्न ऑफ इक्विटी ग्रेटर देन 15% है, प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी ग्रोथ कंसिस्टेंटली ओवर 15% है, उनको हम बोलते हैं सेक्युलर स्टॉक्स। जैसे प्राइवेट बैंक्स होती हैं, कंज्यूमर डिस्क्रिशनरी ऑटो कंपनीज होती हैं, गुड क्वालिटी कंपनीज, या मार्केट में बहुत लोग इसको ग्रोथ कंपनीज, ग्रोथ ओरिएंटेड कंपनीज बोलते हैं, ग्रोथ या क्वालिटी ओरिएंटेड कंपनीज बोलते हैं। तो ये उस वाले बकेट में है। Then you have two other buckets called cyclical और defensive। cyclical हम सबको पता है जो मार्केट certain market cycles में अच्छा करती हैं, जैसे कि अगर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ओरिएंटेड है, कैपिटल गुड्स कंपनीज है, सीमेंट है, they don't do well across market cycles, right? so ये होती है, ये एक बकेट है जहाँ पे आपको प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी हाई रहती है बट कंसिस्टेंटली ओवर द लॉन्ग टर्म दे डोंट कंपाउंड। Then you have defensives जैसे कि आपका your healthcare, IT, जहाँ पे even recession भी आ जाए तो हम we will not stop buying medicine or we will not stop consuming food products. So this defensives generally fall very less even in bad market cycles. तो ये एक quadrant है. And then you have value. Value is the other growth का opposite है ना, right? Value we all know. So value are those companies which over the long term consistently 15% के ऊपर उन्होंने ना तो PAT दिखाया है ना तो ROE. But ये भी in the market is a big weightage. Typically in our portfolios, we tend to be little overweight on secular, underweight on value, and between cyclical and defensive, हम थोड़ा tactical approach लेते हैं. However, हमारी दोनों PMS strategies काफी अलग है. एक में हम ज्यादा secular है, मे बी ज्यादा weightage secular defensives में रहती है और कम है cyclical और value में. और दूसरी portfolio ऐसी है जहाँ पे हम heavier weightage देते हैं value or इसमें. If you can go to the heat map, Sahil, very quickly. ये जो the heat map. Yeah. So this is like long term. If this each bucket how it has performed, तो आप देखोगे कि secular over the longer term generally has given the best performance, right? Compounding के basis पे. Last 2-3 साल में growth वाली style has not paid off very well. Market में बहुत सारे growth managers ने अच्छा performance नहीं दिया है schemes में. Whereas last 2-3 साल value के लिए बहुत बढ़िया रहा है. But typically if you see value में बहुत सारे reds होते हैं in between. Secular में कम reds हैं, ज़्यादा greens and yellows हैं. So generally, secular is a safer bucket to bet on, but last 3-4 years have been better for value. But in our portfolio, we would like to have all in varying proportions. And objective is हम ऐसा ना हो कि एक market cycle में हम hero है और next में zero है. So we try to maintain, top 2 quartile performance. Even if अगर secular ने underperform भी कर लिया, तो हम ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि we are falling too much compared to the benchmark or to the market and so on. That is the endeavor of our investment philosophy. Very quickly, if you can just go to multi-cap, which is, ahead. Multi-cap, or if you can show the portfolio. Here. So this is multi-cap portfolio. यहाँ पे large cap ज़्यादा होता है, mid and small cap lower proportion. Okay, so this is generally a 60-40 portfolio between large and mid cap. और आप देख सकते हो इसमें secular और defensives की proportion थोड़ा मतलब it's little on the higher side. And cyclical and value is little lesser. These are the stocks, top 10 stocks in the portfolio. We have also market के डायरेक्शन को देखते हुए हमने भी थोड़ा cyclicals और value में थोड़ा stock rotation किया है. We can't stay out of the market also from when those stocks are rallying, but we have to be very careful in terms of weightages and all of that. और आप Phoenix अगर देखोगे जो हमारी दूसरी performance is multi cap, so this is more growth oriented. तो यहाँ पे at least last 1-2 years it has been the strategy, as we say, market ने growth को reward नहीं किया है. But longer term, the strategy has done very, very well. It's one of the big PMSs in the market. But the दूसरी strategy which we have, which is called Phoenix, ये थोड़ा different है. यहाँ पे हम थोड़ा value oriented style लेते हैं. We look at companies which are trading at lower discount to historical valuations, lower profitability versus historical. और जहाँ पे हम expect कर रहे हैं कि थोड़ा turnaround हो जाए, quadrant change हो जाएगा, price correction reverse हो जाएगी. We are looking at such turnaround stories. Right, so this portfolio, if you look at the metrics, so the quants here, यहाँ पे आप देखोगे कि secular और secular हमने थोड़ी weightage market neutral ली हुई है, overweight नहीं है. Whereas value traps की और weightage इसमें compared to the multi-cap portfolio is much higher, right? And इसमें mid और small की proportion भी compared to the other portfolio is higher. So this portfolio is oriented very, very differently. यहाँ पे आप देखोगे कि टॉप होल्डिंग्स जैसे किर्लोस्कर है, which is not a very common name found in portfolios, is there in this portfolio. And the top 10 में V names आपको ज़्यादा V और C दिख रहे हैं यहाँ पे, right? If you go to the performance very quickly before we wrap, this has been the performance. So this is as of May 31st because June की अभी तक performance data आया नहीं है. So we are showing you as of May 31st. But this portfolio has performed significantly better. 1 year has been up 45%, and since inception also it has outperformed the market. So this is done exceedingly well because value strategies have worked obviously better in the market, right? So this is about us, our strategies. If you have any further questions, happy to take them.
Yes, one question that has come up again is on what criteria the funds or the EMC are selected, on what criteria?
As an investor or as a distributor, why you should choose one PMS over the other?
Yeah, that is also one of the
Yeah,
questions.
so again, correct. So जैसे आप you evaluate
I think there is some network issue. Sahil, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there.
Okay, okay. I think Srividya will log on once again. Sure, sure. Sahil, in the meantime, yeah, okay. We have.
sorry. I think I went on mute or I just a connection blip. But
Yeah.
third party websites भी available होती हैं on best performing PMSs, but don't just go on returns like you do with mutual funds also. ऐसा नहीं है हम sort कर दे returns 1 year 3 year के and हम बना दे. तो वैसा नहीं होना चाहिए. You look at risk versus return, respectable fund house, good fund manager, track
Correct.
record. ये सब same thing.
Correct. Another question is like a portfolio performance fees. Is it net of PMS management fee?
Portfolio performance fee. No. So performance fee की बात जब मैंने की थी, performance. So what happens is, for example, in our own scheme, we have variable fee structure कहते होता है, जहाँ पे management fee होती है 1.5% per annum. Okay.
Correct.
Over and above that, there will be a hurdle rate. Hurdle rate meaning इतना the scheme has to give in a year. That hurdle rate is set 10%. ठीक है?
Correct.
तो 10% ऊपर अगर मैंने उस साल I give 15% as my return. So what is my outperformance over the hurdle rate? It is 5%.
8%.
तो 5% के ऊपर I will charge a performance fee of let's say 20%, which means 1%. ठीक है? So the 1.5% and the 1%, but that 1% is contingent on अगर मैंने outperform किया तो. अगर मैंने 10% ही deliver किया return, I have not outperformed the hurdle rate, then performance fee is 0. Okay, so only your fixed fee I will pay. So certain clients who will say that I don't want to give this, why should I give fixed fee? I will only go for this. Then they will opt for this option.
Okay. Is hurdle rate always a part of a mandate between an investor and the
Yes,
AMC?
hurdle rate we disclose. We disclose the hurdle
No,
rate.
I'm asking, is it typically is always given? In the sense, disclose, yes, but is it mandatory typically? Is it mandatory?
No, so everybody typically offers a fixed fee and performance fee structure. सबके पास होती हैं.
Correct.
Because clients generally ask, a lot of clients will ask that, informed investors will ask, why should I be paying fixed flat for management fee? I should have the portfolio manager should have the compulsion to perform, right? उसको ऐसा free में, if he's not performing 3 years, उसकी returns negative है, why should I be paying him a fixed fee? So they ask for a performance fee option to evaluate, if this is also an attractive option, and that option is given. And typically hurdle rates, etc., are in the range of 10%, 12% के range में रहती हैं generally hurdle rates.
एक सवाल काफी कॉमन रहा है यहाँ पे कि एवरेज रिटर्न पीएमएस से कितना मिलता है लोगों को? ये बहुत
tough to say. You have to again look. Yeah.
Correct.
So you saw the return of our portfolio, right? 1 year is around 45%. But then you will say certain mutual fund schemes ने भी दी होगी similar return possible. You will have some PMSs who will give you higher returns than us. There are PMSs who have given 50-60% return also. There could be some mutual fund schemes who have given those returns also. But 50-60% वाले, then you will have to see हर साल consistently कोई 50-60% दे नहीं पाता है. You will have to see underlying उसकी portfolio क्या है. उसने बहुत risk लेके एक साल में 60 और next year -60 नहीं होना चाहिए, right? You will have to see जिसने long term में consistently. So हमारा portfolio अगर मैं multi cap दिखाऊं, उसका 22% has been the long term compounding, which is very very good as a long term compounding.
Correct, correct.
And if अगर mutual funds की long term compounding 17-18%, and if I'm giving 20%, then I've done better than a mutual fund portfolio. That is what you have to look at
Okay.
in that, and whether it is worth your client's investment.
एक अच्छा सवाल है कि यार जब हम लोग क्लाइंट से बात कर रहे हैं एज एन एमएफडी, तो उनको पीएमएस और एमएफ के बीच में उनको अपग्रेड कैसे करवाने के लिए एक अपार्ट फ्रॉम रिटर्न्स एक क्या पॉइंट हमने बताना चाहिए कि यार this is a very good option for you guys for an HNI client?
See, one is, first of all, if you are choosing, there is some very differentiated theme which may not be available on the mutual fund side, because mutual fund में it is very straight jacketed कि मैं सिर्फ large cap, सिर्फ mid cap, सिर्फ large and mid cap, ऐसे options available है options. But it is here I have, as I said, flexibility है कि हम differentiated themes भी कर सकते हैं, because I don't have any restriction on what this thing. That is one. Second thing is, as I said, अगर वो ultra high net worth individual है और वो काफी investors काफी finicky होते हैं कि मुझे fees कम करवा के दो, I can't go and do that in a mutual fund. So this is one option which is there. Third, you're saying that client constantly जानना उसके portfolio में क्या हो रहा है, which stocks are in, which stocks are out, और mutual fund में ये मुझे कभी दिखेगा ही नहीं. So this is another thing, that you have a lot of control in seeing what is there in your portfolio. And fourth, if you're going into an NDPMS structure, I can even decide what I want to do in the portfolio as a customer. So these options, it's a option available in the market. These are the benefits. If you're
Okay.
going to showcase.
Another question is, distributor commission will be paid out of management fees or how?
Yes, it's a proportion of the management fee.
Okay, it's a proportion of the management fee. Depending on that proportion will depend on the AMC to AMC.
Dependent on the AMC, dependent on the understanding between the distributor and the AMC.
Can a client exit at any time or stop working with a PMS house?
Yes, anytime. So you give a redemption. Exit loads are, again, exit loads typically nobody keeps more than 1 year, because you want to be at a parity with even mutual funds, क्योंकि mutual funds के 1 साल के ऊपर के exit loads नहीं होती हैं, right? So most PMS schemes don't keep an exit load of more than 1 year. 1 year, 1% is generally the structure. There could be variable. Some people may waive off exit loads also. Again, as I said, here the option, again, if it's a very high net worth client, some distributors come back and tell that client wants to exit, does not want to pay an exit load. Now I can decide. I will say, no, sorry, I will put the exit load.
Correct.
But that discretion is there. In a mutual fund, I can't take the call.
Correct.
I can't say for one investor I will waive exit load, one investor I will not waive an exit load. यहाँ पे, if there is a contingency, I can do it too. The choice is with me. I may or may not choose to do it.
Okay. I think almost we're almost done with the questions. Thank you, Srividya, for such a lovely, insightful session. For distributors, I think एक सवाल बहुत common आपके तरफ से आ रहा है कि Asset Plus के साथ हम कैसे sell कर सकेंगे PMS. I would suggest that आप अपने RM को contact कीजिए. They have all the links and they have all the material that they can help you, जिसके साथ आप आपके HNI client के साथ जाके बात कर सकते हैं. You can choose whatever the funds that are PMS funds that are available on our platform, and you can do that. But having said that, having cleared that particular part of the question side, I think thank you, Srividya, for this lovely session. It was a great experience. I think there were a lot of questions regarding ये distributor के मन में काफी ये सवाल उठते हैं कि हम तो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर है, हम HNIs के साथ कैसे मतलब हम उनको बेच सकते हैं क्या, हमें अलाउड है क्या. आई थिंक यू कवर्ड इट वेरी वेल. ऑनबोर्डिंग भी आपने काफी अच्छी तरह से एक्सप्लेन किया है, टिकट साइज और ये तो आई थिंक दिस वाज अ वेरी insightful affair to say the least. So thank you so much, and we'll hope to connect with you again soon.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for patient listening.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स पार्टनर्स, हम आपको इस वेबिनार का लिंक कुछ ही दिनों में we'll send it to you along with the presentation if we are allowed, and we will please connect with your sales RM to know more about the selling of PMS and any required help that is out there. Thank you so much.